My name is Darcy. I'm going to be showing you 5 different equipment options for sensory motor. First, I'm going to start with our first one, which is going to be the swings. And before we get started, I'm just going to talk about some of the contraindications and precautions. So first, if a client has a seizure disorder and they're not controlled by medications and they are caused by vestibular stimulation, the equipment use is contraindicated. So if then the client has a seizure disorder, but it is controlled by medications and their seizures are caused by vestibular stimulation, you can use the equipment, but only in linear motion, such as back and forth or side to side for short periods of time. And then lastly, if the client has a seizure disorder that is controlled by medications and their seizures are not caused by vestibular stimulation, you can use the equipment, but again, it still has to be in a linear motion, so that back and forth and side to side. Some other vestibular precautions includes if you're unsure about the client's threshold, you always want to start the movement slowly and then gradually, progressively, you can do bigger swings. And then children who have processed vestibular input inefficiently can take up to 2 hours or so to exhibit signs of response. And if the signs are signs of distress from their sympathetic nervous system, some things you'll observe are hiccups, blushing of the face, reddening, increased fluctuations. And then you want to observe these facial changes as well as behavioral reactions because they'll be sudden. And if these signs are distressed and are observed, you want to slowly stop that vestibular input and provide grounding proprioceptive input. So for the first swing, I'm going to be doing a platform swing. But before we put on the swing, we want to make sure we have the environment set up. So we're going to scan the environment, make sure we have mats on the floor, crash pads around, and then what we're going to do is you want to make sure you have your height adjuster here. So we're going to bring this down about eye level. And then we're going to grab the platform swing. You want to make sure you're using good body mechanics while you're picking it up. So we're going to move this aside. So I'm going to move this next to me. And what's important when you're connecting the carabine is you want to make sure that this isn't at the bottom. You want to make sure it's at the top for safety awareness. And so that way it doesn't slip off when you're hooking it. So we're going to hook it right on the height adjuster here. And I'm going to bring this up to my armpit here. And then I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Now make sure the ropes aren't tangled. And then for me, this is good because you want to make sure it's at shin level for your client for height. And then just make sure you look at the weight distribution in your manuals. So for this platform swing, it's nice because it goes in side to side motions, back and forth. And what also makes it unique is you can do spinning due to the rotary up here. And then how you would get on is you can go sitting. So you can hold on these ropes here and then have your client sit, and then they can scooch. They can sit and push themselves, or they can cross their legs, and then the OT or the caregiver can swing them back and forth. And then to get out, it's just the opposite. So you're gonna hold onto these ropes. I like to give myself a little bit of leeway, and then prop yourself up. Then you can go prone. So you start on your knees, and then go to your belly, and then kind of inch your way up. And now you can push yourself off, you can swing back and forth, and then this swing is going to help with vestibular input as well as proprioception, body awareness, motor planning, and then when you're sitting it can help with postural control. And then some other play occupations you can do is you can pretend that you're Superman, grabbing different things, working on grasp patterns as well as motor planning so you can figure out how to maneuver. You can be a rocket ship and go through different planets, and then working on different weight shifting as well as grasping. So for this next piece of equipment, this is called a prone scooter. Whenever you use it, you want to make sure that you store it placed upside down, so that's going to be the wheels facing up. This is just a safety hazard, so if you have a kiddo coming into the clinic you're working at, that they don't immediately jump on it and it moves, so it can make sure they don't get injured or fall off. So when you use it, then you can turn it this way. When the child gets on, you want to make sure that you have a 3-point contact. So Your foot's gonna be here. This prevents it from rolling forward when they're getting on. Your knee here, just in case, so you can stabilize, and then you'll have your hand hovering behind the child in case they fall or need some help getting on it. This is going to help with some core strength and stability. It requires the core muscles and to maintain stability for control. Also with weight shifting and upper body strength and for coordinating movements. So you're gonna be coordinating bilateral hand movements together. It can also help with motor planning and motor coordination for different play occupation-based interventions you can do with it. Some contraindications for using this is if they have a spinal cord injury or if they had a surgical procedure. You want to make sure they're healed and maybe refrain from prone until they're cleared by their doctor. But for getting on this here, you would do that 3-point contact, and they'd get on like this, and then they'd have their arms here. Make sure their hands aren't beneath the wheels so that they don't get pinched, and then they would move using their arms in the same simultaneous movement. What makes this unique is that there's different sizes depending if your kiddo is bigger or smaller. And then there's a loop here that you can loop around a rope to do tug of war. You can do race car driving, go through different obstacles, which can help with motor learning and motor coordination, trying to maneuver and figure out how that they can go through different paths and everything like that, and other kind of play-based activities that they can move around with. So the next item we have is a weighted toy. These are for proprioceptive input for sensory regulation. Because of the deep pressure, it allows a calming effect as well as improve attention skills. Some of the unique features is that it's nice because it can be catered to the child. If it's like an animal, such as this one, or maybe a certain color or shape of their liking, it would help more motivation through doing certain activities like putting this in an obstacle course, or something of like a tunnel, and they can grab with it. It also, the only thing is for this is you have to make sure that it's on for 20 minutes and then off for 20 minutes, so they don't exceed that amount of time for habituation, as well as you want to make sure it's only 10% of the child's body weight when using it. So the last thing is this is a balance disc. Its benefits are for engaging core muscles for equilibrium sitting. So if kids have issues with equilibrium sitting, it can help with that, as well as stimulates coordination, proprioception, and body awareness. So the unique features it has 2 sides. So this flat surface can be used for kids who are more hypersensitive, and then this other side that has more tactile input for people who are more hyposensitive. And then it's versatile because you can pump more air into it or take it out. It can help with postural control, as well as can be used in other play occupations, or such as doing obstacle courses, having to balance, or sitting on it and having to reach for different things. And then also can be used in a school setting by placing it on a chair while they do their assignments and homework, as well as taking it home if they need to help with restlessness and need to have more sensory input to maintain focus. So for my client, his name is Jason. He's a 36-month-old. He's highly responsive to sensory input from the environment. He notices everything, so he's easily distracted, and he's cautious with all sensory motor equipment. So because he is cautious to sensory motor equipment, as well as highly responsive to sensory input and distracted, I wanted to do a prep method of the cuddle swing. So I'll have him start there during the session, and I can just provide him some vestibular as well as act as a calming agent to modulate his sensory input. And then from there, my goal for the session is to slowly integrate some proprioception and some tactile input, overall sensory input. And then I'm going to use bean bags as bird food, so I'm involving complex imaginary play since he is 3 years old. And he is going to be throwing these, but because they're all the same textures, he's only going to be holding it for so long, so it won't be a big tactile input. So I want to start small and then progress to different textures. He'll also use a ball that is the proportionate to his hand size, and that he's also throwing, so that's just going to help put some other type of tactile input for him as well. And then I have him use a weighted toy, so it's this dolphin here, and because he is easily distracted, I'm going to use this as a motivational input for him to keep him less distracted during the session, and as well as provide a deep pressure calming agent if he feels a little bit overstimulated. And then I'm going to involve the balance disc. I'm going to have him on the flat side because he is highly responsive to the environment, and slowly we'll have him go to this side. But for right now, we're going to start on the smooth side, get him used to the little ridges, but nothing too much. And that way, this is nice because then for his parents, he could take this home, use it for when he needs to maintain focus, maybe at school as well, and help him just slowly progress into bringing more sensory input and regulation. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
My name is Darcy. So today we're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're just gonna play today. Okay? But in the play, we're gonna do a lot of animals, and I heard you love animals. Is that right?
I do.
You do? What's your favorite animal?
A zebra.
A zebra? Okay. My favorite is an owl. So we're gonna start with being an owl. We're gonna go in our little tree house, and we're just gonna hang out, swing a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna use this tree house right here, okay? So you're gonna open, sit, and hold. Okay?
Your turn.
Your turn. Do you know who loves going in the tree house? It's my friend Dolly the dolphin. She loves the tree house. Do you want to sit with Dolly?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Dolly, okay?
Okay.
You can squeeze. Oh, I like those owl sounds. All right. So now, Jason, can you turn towards me? My friend Ducky is stuck behind these trees, and he really needs your help getting out. Can you help me?
Yep.
Okay. So I want you're gonna throw the ball, knock the trees over. Okay? Your turn. Okay. I liked how you tried to aim at the green one here. You brought your arm back. Try throwing with 2 hands, no bounce. You saved Ducky! You want to hold Ducky?
I want to hold Ducky.
Okay.
Yay.
So Ducky's also really hungry. Can you help me feed him?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you walk over here? You can get out of the tree house for now. All right, Jason, we're gonna feed Birdie. You know who loves feeding Birdie? Is Dolly. You wanna help feed him over here? No? Dolly loves feeding Birdie also. Do you wanna sit and hold?
I don't want to.
You don't want to? Okay, well you can sit on here, and then Dolly can help you feed them because she loves feeding Birdie. You want to try that?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So Birdie's gonna go in his nest, right here. We have these yummy bird seeds right here. And we're gonna throw in the nest for Birdie to munch on, okay? Your turn. Good, Jason. I liked how you grabbed 2 and not just 1. I liked how you grabbed both at the same time, okay? But next time, try to just hold 1 and throw it in, okay? Good. job, Jason. I liked how you got all the bird seeds in by grabbing one at a time and throwing into the nest. Now Birdie can be full and take a nap.